Good to have you join us on Sports Update on Trust TV. Adeni G. Shafe. We just quickly take you around the world of sport in the next 25 minutes to give you update concerning what is happening. Right now, we know the place that is agog with sports team moment right now is Asaba, Delta State capital, where about 6,000 athletes are gathered with 1,000 officials for this year 2024. National Youth Games taking place there. Well, right now, big one there. Let's start with the first story. 2024 National Youth Games begin in Asaba, Delta State. Well, as I actually said earlier, 6,000 athletes, 1,000 officials are trying to see how they can win the coveted trophy of the National Youth Games. The National Youth Games actually has to do with under 15 athletes who are also jostling for honors in trying to see how they can win in different categories of sporting moments. And congrats with the fact that all the teams are participating. 29 teams from 29 states across Nigeria are already in Asaba. And they are being welcomed by the Minister of Sport Development, also the Delta State government, led by Governor Bovere there, for the fact that they are ready to see how they are going to be competing and also to foster unity within the state, also giving the athlete the opportunity to at least showcase their talent, because a lot of talented athletes will be discovered, young ones, raw athletes will be discovered in this competition, where they will grow to become national stars or international stars for Nigeria. We'll be looking at this alongside Joseph Peter, who is joining us from Kaduna. Joseph Peter, the National Youth Game is here. 6,000 athletes are already in Asaba. They have about 1,000 officials joining them to see how they can run all the activities happening there. Delta State is actually the sports hub when it comes to Nigeria. You can't take that away from them, and really they are bearing the name to see how they can continue to push for sport development across the nation. So, having you on the show, good to have you right now, Joseph Peter, and we quickly talk about all the stories that we have together. So, good to have you.
Thank you for having me. Delta State has always been a go-to place when it comes to youth sports and all these kinds of competitions being organized. And they are here again to represent, just like they've always done. And we are happy. Usually, this is the competitions where we get to discover raw talents and develop them and grow them into superstars. And hopefully, this time around, it's going to be different.
Okay, well, as we know that this time around is going to be better according to Delta State government, because they want to make sure all the errors in the past are going to be corrected. We've seen from the graphics there how the athletes right now, they've done the match pass. The game has actually been declared open by the Minister of Sport Development, Senator John Owen, for the athletes in different states, 29 states competing in this competition. And like I said, young talented athletes will be discovered. This is actually under 15 competition. They don't want age cheat there. They also want to encourage athletes to go away from doping by competing naturally, according to the Minister of Sport Development. Why the state government say, well, they will make sure the athletes have good time in Delta State. Well, the game has actually started. They're the best team win concerning that. While we talk about the National Youth Games, really, it gets to give us the opportunity to discover young talent. And nurturing them is key, because apart from discovering these athletes, we need to nurture them to become world beaters. And to nurture them, a lot of things must be put in place. A lot of things that must be put in place have to do with money, facilities, welfare of these athletes, and competitions. They need to go for competition either locally or internationally or even continentally. Aside that, their welfare, wherever they compete, settle them in time, and let there be facilities in place for them to at least have that exposure. Because if they are competing with not too sound or not too standard facilities, by the time they get to compete against those athletes who actually have standard facilities, they will drop. So they need to put all this in place. I'm very sure you want to agree with me, Joseph Peter.
I totally agree with you. I'm very positive about what you're saying. It's very, very important to have competitions like this organized by the nation for youth development. and a place where you get to get to catch them young, get to catch young talent, and actually groom that talent. The most important thing is not just the sighting of that talent, but also the grooming of that talent. That's very, very important. Like it is what refines a sportsman or a sportswoman into becoming a superstar. Now that involves logistics and facilities, and then welfare. And in our country, we've not lately done so well in that aspect. But I hope that, like the governor said, that they are going to improve on what they've done before. I expect nothing less than that. But then, if you talk about the governor, you are talking about Delta State in isolation. We need the whole system refined in this country. We need facilities, and we need programs, training programs that would keep these athletes engaged. It's very, very important. Them being engaged is the most important factor in this whole circle, because if you discover them and you don't engage them, they don't get to improve and become better, right? So I hope that plan has been made or put on ground, to engage these athletes and train them and actually make them integrate to whatever they can become in life in the future and represent this country well better.
Well, engagement is the key right now. Nigerian athletes under 15 competing at the National Youth Games in Delta State, precisely in Asaba, for the days that they will be locking horns to see how they can win the trophy there. Well, from there, let's quickly look at after the match day 1 and 2 fixture that was playing AFCON qualifiers. Let's just look at the tables of the teams that actually play. We have A, B, C, D till F. A lot of them there. Tunisia in Group A, Comoros, the Gambia, Madagascar. You look at the point, the matches played, MP stand for matches played, and you look at them having 6 points, Comoros, the Gambia, Madagascar in that order. Morocco, Gabon, Central African Republic, and Lesotho are standing in the order 6-3-3-0 for Morocco. They've won 2 matches from the 2 they played. In Group C, you have Egypt. They are topping ahead of Cape Verde, Mauritania, and Botswana, while Nigeria 4 points, Benin Republic 3 points, Rwanda 2, Libya 1. In Group E, you have Algeria, Togo, Equatorial Guinea, and Liberia in the pecking order 6-2-1-1 in the points they've accrued so far in the 2 matches played. Angola, Sudan, Ghana, and Niger are standing 4th, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in Group F. Continuing in the group standings, let's look at the remaining parts of the competition. Well, right now in Group G, you have Cote d'Ivoire. They won 2 games out of 2, 6 points. Zambia, Sierra Leone, Chad, they are trailing, having 1 point apiece. DR Congo, Tanzania, 6 and 4 they have after playing 2 matches. Ethiopia and Guinea, they have just 1 and 0 point so far in Group H. While Group I, Mozambique, surprisingly, they are topping there. We have 4 points ahead of Mali, although the same point, the same matches played. Guinea-Bissau and Eswatini, formerly Swaziland. Good one for Kenya. They have 4 points ahead of Cameroon, although they have the same point. But you look at the stats, they are ahead, standing 4th there, followed by Cameroon, Zimbabwe, and Namibia. Group K, Uganda, South Africa, Congo, and South Sudan. 4 points for Uganda, 4 points for South Africa. And in Group L is Burkina Faso with 4 points, Senegal 4 points, Burundi and Malawi. They have 3 points as Burundi, while Malawi are yet to get a point. A tough one there. Burkina Faso and Senegal are still running on the remaining part of the group. Just to have a feel of what is happening concerning match day 1 and match day 2 of AFCON 2025 that will be coming up in Morocco. Well, Peter, you look at the tables right now, it's shaping up little by little. But for our own group, we know that Nigeria, we are topping, even though we have 4 points from 2 matches. And briefly, so far so good. You believe that we can actually top this group, right?
Normally we should top this group. We should top this group. But considering our past experience and the recent troubles we've been having, that's why the kind of doubt has crippled it. But thank God, the Super Eagles actually did not go to Rwanda and lose. They got the point, which has made us top of the table. Although we have done better like Egypt and Morocco, Tunisia, who are having 6 points. And if you look at the whole table on its own, like the whole combined 12 table, you will see that the most powerhouse of football are actually leading each of their group, except for Ghana and Cameroon and Senegal. Apart from the other 3, I think apart from those 3, the rest are actually doing quite well. So it's a good competition. Hopefully, you get the best nations representing each other, representing themselves in the competition, and actually giving us one of the best Nations Cup competitions.
Okay, just so at least look at the table of the teams participating in AFCON 2025 coming up in Morocco. Now we cross over. It has become social media debate. A lot of fans from Morocco are really pushing Brahim Diaz versus Ademola Lookman after Nigerians are really hoping that Ademola Lookman will actually scoop the CAF Player of the Year. Let's look at that clips, rather the picture there. Ibrahim Diaz and Ademola Lookman. We have it there. And now the two seems to be the Moroccans are pushing for Ibrahim Diaz against Ademola Lookman, which if we look at the stats, let's have Ibrahim Diaz and then we have Ademola Lookman statistics for last season. Ibrahim Diaz actually played, actually scored 12 goals rather, 9 assists. He won La Liga with Real Madrid. Champions League winner, joined Morocco 6 months ago and never participated in AFCON. And if you look, compare that to Ademola Lookman's stats last season, you just want to agree with me that Ademola Lookman has really done well for himself. 21 goals, 11 assists, Europa League final best player, Europa League winner, 16 man of the match awards last season, Atlanta player of the year, of the season rather, AFCON best 11, Europa League winner, Ballon d'Or nominee, Silva, AFCON Silva medalist, Coppa Italian, and the first player to score a hat-trick in a UEFA final. Well, looking at this, yes, you want to agree that Ademola Lookman stands a better chance. But you remember, it's by vote. CAF Player of the Year is by vote, and the national team coach and the captain of the team will vote. And if you consider the Francophone, you want to tilt towards them. But never say never. That's why I actually brought it up. Joseph Peter is getting much more boisterous on social media between Ademola Lookman and Brahim Diaz. The Moroccans are really pushing to see how he can scoop this award against our own.
The Moroccans are only trying to be patriotic and love one of their own, even though he's not really exactly their own. And that's what they are just trying to do. I think this is not, I do not see any reason for, contention here. It's so obvious that Ademola Lookman, even with his numbers, has done far, far better than Brahim Diaz. And then let's talk about, their achievements. They may want to tilt towards Brahim and say winning Champions League and La Liga. Well, what was his contribution, to the Madrid team? He was coming in as a second half sub, as not even every game, but you can't compare that to Ademola Lookman, who has been the center of attraction from the beginning of the competition down to the end of it, and they got to win it. And he was the star man in the final of that game. So I do not really know why the Moroccans are actually dragging this award with Ademola Lookman. Because if you ask me, the second best player in Europe, the second best African player in Europe would have been Mohamed Salah, even if he didn't win anything last season. I wouldn't choose Brahim Diaz over Mohamed Salah, right? So I don't know why they are actually dragging it, but you understand they just want one of their own to actually win, but it's not possible. And I know that yes, that the voting is in the hands of the coach and the captain, but they are footballers. Of course, they know what achievements are, and I'm sure that they will do the right thing when it comes to the voting period.
Well, that's just to let you have a feel of what's happening. It's really buzzing on social media. The Moroccans are pushing for Brahim Diaz. But seriously, just like Joseph Peter said, it doesn't stand a chance if we are to go by the activities of these two players. Well, since it's voting, we just hope that Ademola Lookman will get the vote necessary for him to win this award. He really deserves it. He really did well last season, and he deserves it nationally and also club side. You can't take anything away from Ademola Lookman. Well, quickly, let's cross over from that comparison from the Moroccans, and let's talk about Premier League, where a man who has actually played straight twice with Manchester United, Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, the biggest follower right now on YouTube, well, when it comes to about 60 million followers on YouTube, he deserves to talk. Cristiano Ronaldo calls for Manchester United rebuild. He says, well, from the way it is, he wants them to rebuild that team, and Erik ten Hag should try and allow Van Nistelrooy to contribute because he knows the club very well. You want to agree with that, Joseph?
I very, very much agree with Ronaldo. people are looking at what Ronaldo is saying with sentiment, thinking it's because of the baggage that he has with Eric Ten Hag. That's why he's on to Eric Ten Hag. But no, if you know Ronaldo, you know Ronaldo as a winner, as a champion, and that's what he would want. His boyhood club, even though he's sporting, but he loves Manchester United and he has been there. That's where he was made. All right, so he's only speaking out of love for Manchester United. And who can stand and look in the face of Ronaldo and actually say Ronaldo is wrong when he condemns, Eric Ten Hag? Last season, Manchester United didn't do anything apart from, bar from the cup they won, the FA Cup or the Carling Cup they won. This season, we are still just into the season and they have lost two and drawn one. All right, so Eric Ten Hag has not really been doing quite well. So I totally understand why Ronaldo actually made those comments that he made. And it's actually embarrassing to see a coach of Manchester United come out to say that he will not be able to compete for the Champions League. No matter, the kind of players they have, and no matter what's going on, being Manchester United and for their history and what they have been, it's not actually morale boosting. Neither is in the place of the coach to come and say that a club like Manchester United cannot win or will not be able to do well in the Champions League. That does not, help the players. That is, kind of an excuse that is not needed right now for Manchester United. So I am quite, okay with what Ronaldo is saying. And yes, Van Nistelrooy knows the club more than Ten Hag. And Van Nistelrooy has been a coach in Ajax or in Holland, in Holland, yes. So he has the experience, he has the know-how, and he would have the time to build a team from the scratch, because that's what actually Manchester United is. They have been patching and patching. Patching will not solve anything for Man United. They need to actually come back, and start rebuilding, just like Chelsea have started, just like Arsenal has almost been able to finish. So I really hope that they understand that this is not a criticism, but a constructive criticism.
Well, seriously, a big one there from Cristiano Ronaldo, giving them some objective of what to follow. Talk to Van Nistelrooy and get that team rebuilt and let them begin to conquer Europe or conquer the world for Manchester United. Well, Joseph Peter, well, I just have to appreciate you because of our time. Thank you so much for joining us from Kaduna. Meanwhile, your jersey is very beautiful.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, good one there, Joseph.
Thank you.
Okay, there. Right now, quickly, we run through some stories before we wrap it up. Mikel, that's Nigeria defender. Mikel, the Dahlia of Nigerians, Alozie, signs new 2-year deal with NWSL club. That's Ustin Dash. Congrats to her. That's a contract extension. She'll be staying with them for the next 2 seasons, and at least the lady is really celebrating getting that particular deal done. Congrats to Mikel Alozie for that particular deal extension there. And for Mikel Arteta signs new year contract extension also with Arsenal. If you look at it, he has really done well for himself, be with Arsenal. Let's quickly look at the start of Arteta with Arsenal before we move to another story there. Mikel Arteta has really done well for himself when it comes to this particular team. That's Arsenal, and congrats to the fact that he's able to get the 3-year deal for this. Well, for the games he has played, 175, wins 105, goals scored 332, wins 60%, and points per match is 1.96. You want to give it to him. He has done well as a good coach of Arsenal since joining them. So 3-year extension added for him for the next 3 seasons. He will continue to be with them. Congrats to Arteta and the Arsenal Gunner fans there. Real Madrid also agrees new deal with their goalkeeper. His name is Andre Lunin. Lunin will be with them till 2028. Despite the fact that he's still behind Couture, but still they have to offer him that particular deal because he's really performing, and Andre Lunin deserves it till June 2028. Onumanu, Nigerian striker Ifeoma Onumanu also she's excited to experience European football after joining. She joined Montpellier HSC, that's the women version of Montpellier FC over there in France. She has been playing all her career over there in the US. Now she's moving to France, where she'll be playing her trade with Montpellier, and she's really very happy. She can easily see all the Nigerians players are playing over there. Congrats to Onumanu for getting this deal done, and congrats to the entire team where she will be playing her trade. Well, we look at Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho is a man that they call special one, and now he's advising Victor Osimhen since joining Turkey Super League with Galatasaray. He's saying, don't dive in Turkey. Where it's anytime he meets Osimhen, he said, well, I will always tell him, you are a very good player, but you dive too much. That's coming from controversial Jose Mourinho there. Well, some of the guys are waiting to see, will he react to this, or will he just keep quiet and play football? That's Osimhen to Jose Mourinho. And the last one to do with our ladies, Falconet. They'll be playing against Japan by 2 a.m. on Friday. That match will be coming up, and we want to see them doing well there. Let's look at Falconers there for the fact that this game is coming up and they want to do well. Hopefully, they will defeat Japan in the round of 16. That match will be coming at the Estadio Metropolitano de Checo in Bogota, Colombia. We wish them the best as they play their game against Japan, even though Japan are very fast, but we believe our ladies will be equal to the task. Giving you update in the world of sport there. We just have to go now on the show Sports Update. Special thanks to Joseph Peter, join us from Kaduna. I'm Adeni Aji Shafe. Thanks for watching.